A very good morning to all the students. I am Dr. G. Himabindu from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and I'll be dealing the subjects robotics, and my today's topic is soft robotics. In the previous classes, we have discussed about the human-robot interactions. We have discussed about the ethical and legal issues in the robots, and we have discussed few problems based on the links and rotational matrices. Right? And in today's class, we will be dealing with the concept called soft robotics. Most of the students are not aware what we mean by the soft robotics, or what are the exact applications of the soft robotics, where can we use and how it has been applied. So all that we will be discussing in today's class. So firstly, moving on to the concept, the soft robotics is nothing but it is focused on the robot construction, right? It is one of the subfield of robotics, right? The soft robotics is one of the subfield of the robotics, which is concentrating on the flexibility and deformed materials which we use for designing and manufacturing the soft robot, right? That is, the construction or the designing of the robot is based on the flexibility and material, deformed material, or the soft tissues which has been found in the living organisms will be used for constructing these particular type of the robots, right? The soft robots are being designed with the help of the soft tissues of the living organisms, or with the highly flexible or deformed materials. Those particular type of the robots are called as soft robots. Now, this particular flexibility is used to adapt the complexity and unstructured environment, right? The flexibility is based upon the complexity and the unstructured environment, which will make a wide range of applications, right? Which is used to make a wide range of applications. Now, this particular soft robotics generally involve, as I've told you, highly flexible material, or we can also take an adaptability or biological organisms. We can take the material which is flexible, or we also can take the material from the biological organisms, and we can convert it into a soft robot. Generally, the applications of the soft robot is medical robots. Generally, we used the soft robots in the medical applications, right? In medical applications, we will be using this particular type of the soft robot for surgeries, and we can use it for surgeries to minimize the surgeries, or for gripper or handling detection of the object. In these particular places, we can use this particular bioorganism type of the material to be used in the soft robot, right? Now, what are the characteristics of these particular soft robots? How can we use these particular soft robots? That is, it should be, as I've told you, it should be very flexible and deformable, right? So the flexible, how can we determine the flexibility? That is, the robot, the material of the robot should be easily bendable, should have stretching capability, it should have an elasticity, it should twist in any of the direction, allowing them in the various shapes. That is, in whatever shape we are deforming, this particular form of the soft robots should be easily deformable. It should be easily bended, it should be easily stretched, or it should have a good elasticity limit. In whatever shape we are aligning that, it should conform to that particular type of the shape. So that depending upon those particular characteristics, the flexibility is being determined. right? When we come across the safety interactions, right, the safety is very important. The softness makes them safer for interacting with the humans, right? That is, when the material, whatever we are using, is very much softer, it will be easy to handle. It reduces the damage, risk to damage or injure, right? The safety is also very important when we consider a soft robot. Next, coming to the compliance. What do we mean by the word compliance? That is, when we have uneven surface, or when in order to provide a better gripping to the construction of the robo, this compliance is very important. That is, a soft robo can absorb impact and adapt. It can easily, it will impact and adapt to uneven surfaces, and it provides a the robot which is providing a better gripper compared to the other form of the robots. This is one of the important characteristics, right? Compliance and bio-inspiration. What do we mean by bio-inspiration? That is, the robot should be designed with the help of the natural organisms, or with the help of the worms and the human, or with the help of the octopus, right? With the skins of these particular organisms, we can develop a soft robot. That is, with the help of the natural organisms, or with the help of the worms, or with the help of the skin of the octopus, we can generate a soft robot, right? So this is also one of the important characteristic to develop a soft robot. That is, first one is the flexibility and deformability. It should have a good flexibility. It should be easy to bend, twist, stretch, or navigate into any conformed shape, and it should have a safety. In order to reduce the risk of damage or injury, we need to have a good safety, and in order to displace to the uneven surfaces, we need to have a good compliance. And the skin of the soft robot is generally being inspired with the help of the natural organisms, or such as octopus or worms or the human body. Right. Next, coming to the materials used. This is the other important characteristic. That is, what are the various materials being used in the soft robotics? Right. That is, elastometers. What do we mean by elastometers? It is nothing but the rubber type of material, right? It is having a good elasticity or durability. Any material which is high in its elasticity and durability is known as elastometers. That is, the soft robots, when we are designing a soft robot, we need to consider the materials like silicone rubber, or we can take a polyurethane, or other elastometric material which are commonly having a good elasticity and durability. When we are using these particular type of materials, the soft robot will be convenient for us to be used in any desired organization or industry. Next, coming to the hydrogels. What do we mean by the hydrogel? It is, this particular type of the hydrogel are water-based polymers. Right? The hydrogels are generally a water-based polymer that swells and changes its shape depending upon the requirement. This particular material will be, as we have seen in our childhood days, we will be having a silicone balls, small silicone balls. When we are placing these particular small silicone balls in water, what happens? These size of these particular silicone balls will be enlarged. That is, it will be changing its change of shape will be taking place. That is, in the same way, these particular hydrogels are also water-based polymers which change its shape when it is being inserted in a large deformation content. Right? Applications are the large deformations. Right? Next, coming to shape, memory, alloy, and polymers. What do we mean by this shape, memory, alloy, and polymers? It is nothing but, in order to return to a predefined shape when heated, we use this particular type of the material. After heating also, it will be it will be predefined. That is, the predefined shape when heated, is known as these particular type of the materials are called as alloys and the polymers, right? Next, textiles and composites. That is, when we come across the fabrication, the particular fabrication, whatever we are considering, should be flexible, and it should provide a good strength, and it should maintain a flexibility. Right, the fabric whatever we are using should be flexible, it should provide a good strength, and it should also maintain a flexibility. So considering all these particular type of the material only, we can design a soft robo. Next is what are the various methods for this particular soft robo? What are the different methods to be initiated to generate any particular soft robo? That is, first is the actuator method, pneumatic actuator, hydraulic actuator, or dielectric elastrometer actuator, or shape memory alloy polymer, or the magnetic actuator. About the actuator topic, we have already discussed in the earlier session. What is the use of a pneumatic actuator, what is the use of a hydraulic, or what is the use of a magnetic actuator? That is, any particular actuator which is working with the help of the air is known as the pneumatic actuator, and the actuator which is working with the help of the pressurized liquid is known as the hydraulic actuator, or the actuator which is working with the help of the electromagnetic fields comes under the magnetic actuator. We also have motor type of the actuator where we use stepped motor, right? Now, based upon these particular type of the actuators also, the soft robotic methodology will be determined. It is utilizing the pressurized air to move the soft component, such as the grippers or the bending segment. We use pneumatic actuator. When we come across the complex control system, when the design is complex, or when we come across the complex control system, in those particular type of the modules, we will be using a liquid pressurized actuator, that is nothing but a hydraulic actuator. And when we come across the deformed electrometric material, in that particular constraint, we come across the dielectric elastometer actuator, that is, we call it as a DEA. And when we come across the soft material, or when we come across the magnetic particles, then here we will be using a magnetic type of the actuator, right? Or when we need to provide a precise or a controllable movement depending upon the change in the phase being taking place, there we will be using a shape memory alloy or a polymer, right? So these are few of the different actuator methods which will be initiated for constructing or designing a soft robo. That is, when we require a change in the phase, or when we require a precise provision to be controlled, or when we require a controllable movement to be taken place, then only we will be using a alloy and a polymer type of the actuator. Right, so here we have 5 types of actuators, such as pneumatic actuator, hydraulic actuator, magnetic, dielectrometer actuator, or the shape memory alloy and the polymer type of the actuator, based on which the construction will be based. Right. Next, coming to the design and fabrication techniques. What are the various designs and how can we fabricate a soft robot? It can either be done with the help of a 3D printer, or it can either be made with the help of the casting and molding process, or it can be done with a soft lithography method, or with the help of a laser cutting and welding operation, or with a textile weaving and sewing operation. That is, generally nowadays most of the people have advanced their technique with the help of the 3D printer, right? That is, when we give a particular programming to that particular 3D printer, the work is done automatically. So this becomes easier, and it is a time saving process, the cost effective, and it is a time saving process also. So whenever we come across the advanced technology, then we will become it is a layer by layer process which will be taking place for the component generation for a soft robot. That is nothing but a 3D printer methodology. And the traditional method which we have used in the older days is nothing but the mold and casting method. This everyone know how we will be using. That is the here the shape electrometer material into desired form. Right here we will be. This is one of the traditional method which was being used in the mechanical engineering stream in the older days. Right now, when we come across the laser cutting and welding operation, it is one of the very precise type of the method for designing the soft material. Right, when we require a very precise design to be operated, then we come across the laser cutting and welding operation. That is a precision cutting and assembly of the soft material design will be done with the help of the laser operation. When we come in soft lithography, that is this is generally for a small scale industry. When we come for across the fabrication of small scale industry or the structure using the photo lithographic process, then we come across this particular soft lithograph type of the design and fabrication techniques. Again here, like same as the actuator method, here in the design and fabrication techniques also we come across 5. That is molding and casting, 3D printing, soft lithograph, laser cutting and welding, textile weaving and sewing. Right, so based upon the type of the application and based upon the type of the requirement, these particular design and fabrication techniques will come into account. Next, what are the various applications where we can use these particular type of the soft robotics? Generally, as I've told you, discussed earlier, it can be used in medical devices like with the help in the form of surgical robots, or it can be used for rehabilitation devices. Right, that is in order to minimize the soft robot tools for minimizing the surgical operations, we will be using the surgical robots. Or it can also be used as a doctor as that is like a physical therapy. The robot can be used like a physical therapy or the mobility enhancement. There we will be using this particular type of the soft robots. Or in industries where we require soft gripper, right? That is the handling of the irregular shaped objects, or for packing purposes we require a soft robot, because when we use a harder robot, what happens when we are doing a packing? It gets damaged. Right, so generally for manufacturing and packing, or for moving the objects, that is irregular shaped objects, we will be using a soft gripper type of the robot. Next, coming to the wearable type of the robot. Wearable type is nothing but when we have repetitive tasks to be done, or for lifting, endurance for lifting operations, there we use this particular type of the robot. Or when we have prosthetic limbs being enhanced in that particular organization, there we will be using a wearable type of the robot. And in agriculture, as we all know, in agriculture also we require a soft robot, because if a hard robot is being used, what happens? The vegetables or the fruits gets damaged. The picking of the fruits and vegetables should be done very soft. That is manipulator, whatever we are using should be soft. The end effector, whatever we are using should be soft. The material, whatever we are using for the end effector should be flexible, should be soft. It should not damage the fruits and vegetables, which we have discussed in the earlier material selection. Right? Next, exploration. Exploration means through aquatic environment. That is the robot, whatever we are using through aquatic environments, that is with respect to inspection, or when we come across the scientific research operations, there also we need to use a soft robot, soft type of the robot. Right? Next, coming to the challenges. What are the various challenges coming across when we come across the soft robots? Right, the various challenges which we come across the soft robots are control system and material fatigue and durability, power and actuator, integration of sensors, scalability and fabrication. All these are the upcoming challenges to design or manufacture any particular soft robot. That is, the algorithm, whatever we are giving to the robot, should have a control. That is, we need to develop an algorithm which will have a precise control for higher deformation nature, or which is having a non-linearity, right? So the programming, whatever we are doing, should have a control on itself with a high deformation nature of the soft robots. That is one of the main important challenge which we need to consider when we are constructing a soft robot. Or the material fatigue and durability, that is, this is been considered as a long term performance. When we have a long term performance to be done, and resistance to wear and tear, when we have a resistance to wear and tear, in that particular constraints we will come across the material fatigue and durability. Or when we come across power and actuator, that is, we need to create a reliable power source for soft actuator, right? When we are having a reliable power source for the soft actuator, then only this particular challenge can be overcome, or else it will be failed. Next is the integration of sensors. That is, sensors are very important section, or we call it as, it is one of the vital, it plays a very vital role in the robotics, because these are the materials which gives us the feedback, right? With the help of the sensors only, we will be getting the feedback and the control, or we will lose the control, without which we can not get the flexibility detention. That is, embedding sensors within the soft material in order to get the feedback and control, without which the flexibility will be failing. So this is also one of the important challenge which we need to consider and look into. Next, scalability and fabrication. What do we mean by scalability and fabrication? That is, when we come across manufacturing, the soft robot should maintain quality and consistency, right? When we are manufacturing any particular soft robot, we need to concentrate on the maintaining quality and consistency of the fabric or the material. So if we are if we are failing in either of these particular challenges, in these particular 5 challenges, then what happens? We will fail in developing a good soft robot, where when it is coming into operation, it cannot handle, that is, all these packing operations, or all these medical appliances, or all the agricultural fields will be damaged if we are not having a good control system, or if we are not having a good material fatigue and durability, or if we are not integrating the sensors into that particular robot, or if we are not selecting a good fabric for developing a soft robo gripper, end effector gripper, right? Next, coming to the future direction. What are the future requirements? What are the future requirements to develop any particular soft robot? That is, as we all know, artificial intelligence is playing a very crucial role in day-to-day life. So when we integrate the artificial intelligence into this particular soft robotic system, what happens? The adaptive control and learning capabilities will be increased, right? When we are implementing the artificial intelligence in manufacturing and designing of a soft robot, the adaptive control and the learning capabilities in the soft robot will be increased. So this can be considered as one of the important topic, right? And coming to the advanced material, the material whatever we are using, it should be biodegradable, it should be self-healing and conductivity. That is, the robot whatever we are manufacturing, the construction of the robot whatever we are doing, the material should have a good conductivity, it should heal itself, it should have a self-healing capability, and it should be biodegradable. These are some of the new materials which can be used to develop a soft robot, right? Next, coming to the hybrid system. Hybrid system means what? Combining one or the two. That is leverage. That is, it should have a leverage of the strengths of both approaches, considering the soft and rigid components, right? When we are combining the soft and the rigid components. It should leverage the strength of both the particular approaches. That particular type of the combinational robot is called as a hybrid system. Robotic swarms. What do we mean by that? That is, it comes across the complex tasks. This is one of the complex tasks where we are using multiple soft robots to work together. Right? When we are coordinating the multiple soft robots to work together, we come across this particular robot swarms. That is, the task which has been given to one robot and the task which has been given to a robot which is operating in multiple ways. The time consumption will be reduced, the cost consumption will be reduced, and we will be having a lot of more advantages. So, generally in the large scale industry or in the large scale organization, we use the robotic swarm, which is one of the future direction which can be implemented. That is, the multiple soft robots can be worked together for complex tasks. When we have a complex task, there we can use this particular robot swarms. Or in the space, the soft robots also can be used in this space for exploring the application of the soft robots in the environment and habitat construction. Right? So these are few of the future directions which we can consider, and at present artificial intelligence is one of the most rapid or plays a very vital role in the present scenario. Right? So these are the differences which when come across. So in today's topic, we have discussed about the future direction, the challenges, the various applications. That is, it can be used in medical devices, it can be used in industrial automation, it can be used in rescue and search operations, it can be used in wearable robotics, in agricultural exploration. So these are few of the applications where most of the students are not aware where the soft robots can be used and in which area. Generally, for gripping, at the end effector, we use soft robotics. Generally we use near the end effectors, where with the help of the end effector only all the particular operations will be done. Right? So we have discussed about the design and fabrication technique. Here we have 5 types of designs with the help of which a soft robot can be done. That is, one of the important thing is a 3D printer. 3D printer mold and casting is one of the most oldest tradition which was followed earlier. But now since we have upgraded ourselves, we can come up to 3D or a laser for very precise design. We can come across laser operations. Right? And we have seen the various actuator methods with the help of which the soft robot is being operated. That is pneumatic, hydraulic, magnetic, and DEA, etc. Next, what are the various materials which we can come across to design a soft robot? That is hydrogel type, or the textile and composites type, or elastomer type. Right? So material plays a very important role again to design any particular soft robot, because when we are using a different material and that particular material will be melted with the help of the heat, what happens? It is the whole end effector will gets damaged, right? And the maintenance will be more. So we need to consider the material which will be highly elastic, which will be highly durable, and which can resist to the heat. Right? And we have seen the various characteristics of the soft robot. What are the various characteristics which come across the soft robot? And let me first tell you, the soft robot is nothing but it is generally focused on the construction of the robot, which gives us a highly flexible and deformed material to the soft tissues found in the living organisms, and it has a wide range of applications. And one of the main important application of the soft robot is the medical applications. Right? So this is all about today's class, that is soft robotics. Right? In the next class, we will discuss a few problems on the rotational matrix. Right? So signing off for today, Dr. G. Himabi. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.